In today's episode, I'm going to help you see that your assumptions are not always helpful. Your assumptions about whether or not you're ready to pursue your dream, they're not always helpful. One of the killer D's that I talk about in the dream pursuit is delay. And if it goes untreated over time, it leads to regret. Our deep-rooted assumptions are revealed through statements that we make unchallenged in our heads, like, I can't afford this now, or I'll get to it later when things are stable. I want to give you a simple checklist today to help you challenge the assumption that you're ready to pursue your dream. That's all coming up next, right here on Stop Doubting Your Dream. Stay tuned. If you have a deep-rooted dream you long to pursue but feel held back by self-doubt, the possibility of failure, and the relentless demands of everyday life, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Jeff Meyer, and I know that taking the leap of faith to make your dream a reality and overcome the seeds of doubt planted by those who say it's too risky can feel overwhelming and discouraging sometimes, and cause you to question whether or not your dream is worth pursuing at all. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be an either-or choice. It's possible to pursue your dream without risking your stability or security in the process. And each week on the show, I'm going to show you and give you practical action steps you need to turn your dream into a viable source of income so you can live without regret, reshape your future, and create the meaningful change you want to see in the world, all without leaving your day job. So if you're someone who's ready to stop doubting your dream and start living it, let's dive in. Welcome back. This is episode number 58, and today we're talking about the assumption that you're not ready to pursue your dream, and how that assumption is really a delay tactic that can lead to regret. And none of us want to live with regret, do we? It's actually the number one answer I get to the question I ask potential clients. What is the risk if you don't go for your dream? Regret is always in their answer. From the moment I met my wife, Amy, to our wedding day was 5 months. Yeah, you heard it right. We knew each other for only 5 months before we were married. I was not ready. In no way, shape, or form was I ready to marry Amy. Maybe some of you can relate to this story in your own life. If I would have allowed that assumption that I wasn't ready to rule my decision making, I probably would have missed out on the gift of a lifetime. And subsequently, 4 gifts, 4 beautiful daughters, and 2 awesome son-in-laws, and 5 beautiful grandchildren 33 years later. I mean, I had no money. I had no job. Still pretty immature, even though I thought I was ready to take on the world. Didn't even go through a Packers football season with her. I wasn't ready. And she would tell you a year later, watching me cheer on the Packers, I'm a rabid fan, she wasn't ready either. So the assumption that you are not ready, I want to present to you today as an untested thought. And it's an untested thought that will keep you immobile. But there is a way to test the assumption, and a way to create momentum without risking your stability, without shutting down your day job and risking all of your security. Would you like to know the way forward? Would you like to know the way to test your assumption and to create momentum without risking your stability? Okay, well, can't hear you telling me no, so I'm going to keep going. You may be experiencing some of the pain, some of the challenges that come with making the assumption that you're not ready. Pain like feeling underutilized in your current role, the pain feeling like your gifts and talents are being wasted and not utilized to their full potential, the pain that comes when you feel resentful towards those out there who are pursuing their dreams with success, and you wonder, why can't that be me? Truth is, they weren't ready either. Or another way to look at it, they were more ready than they realized, and they had to discover that just like you do. Maybe you're constantly plagued by feelings of overwhelm or anxiety and what ifs because you're sitting in this overthinking place. And if all these feelings and all these thoughts that flow from the assumption that you're not ready to pursue your dream, if they go untreated, they lead to resignation, to the feeling of you're just resigned to the reality. What's the point? This is just the way it is. I'm not going to be ready. And then that over time leads to future regret. My life didn't live out its purpose. Is worthless in the end. The big mistake most of us make when we just rely on our assumptions without testing them is we assume a lot of things that aren't helpful to us. We, in this case, assume that we're not ready. But let me ask you this. How do you really know? How do you really know that you're not ready? Playing it safe is rife with assumptions that it's the better way. Kind of like we talked about last week, that risk taking is bad and playing it safe is the better way. So assuming that you're not ready and waiting until you are ready and got all your ducks in a row, that's a better way, it actually keeps you dwelling in the territory of the untested waters. And it sits you squarely in the overthinking. There's a subtle form of perfectionism at play here, isn't there? This belief that I'm only ready when I can prove my expertise, when I can show my capacity. I mean, I didn't show much to Amy in 5 months to prove much to her, to be honest. It's a subtle form of perfectionism at play here. This belief that you've got to get everything prepared and everything ready, and you've got to prove that you're ready. Otherwise, you're a fraud, right? But this is costing you. This belief is costing you time. It's costing you experience that you could be gaining right now in the dream pursuit. It's costing you discovery, new talents, new skills, new opportunities, right? Actually, it's also costing you freedom if you're not satisfied with your current reality and you feel like you're stuck until you are ready. It's costing you freedom today. And I would suggest it's costing you money and adventure. So, what can you do instead of assuming that you're not ready? I want to give you one simple thing to try today, and you can just try it, no strings attached. It doesn't mean you're going to just jump in with both feet when you're feeling unready. I want to have you do this one thing. I want you to take my readiness quiz. And the readiness quiz is actually going to be in the show notes so you can download it, okay? And the readiness quiz has 5 questions that I want you to seriously consider, reflect on, and then answer, okay? And these 5 questions will lead you to see the 5 signs that you are ready to pursue your dream, that you're more ready than you realize right now to pursue your dream. Okay, you ready for these 5 questions? Number 1, are you unsettled in your current position? in your current position in life, it might be at a job, it might be you don't work outside the home. That's fine. Are you unsettled in your current reality, in your current position? Maybe you're stuck, you're unfulfilled, you've been there for a while. You feel like your talents are being wasted, your true self is not being acknowledged, that you're not seen. That's the first question. Now, that's a yes or no answer, right? Are you unsettled in your current position? And then to go a little deeper, is the unsettledness temporary, fleeting? It comes and goes, but overall you're okay? Or is the unsettledness a deep unsettledness and it's been there for a while? So, deeper than a yes or no answer would be, how does that show up for you? What's the impact on your health, on your mental well being, and your physical well being? What have you noticed over the years with joy and peace and contentment in the world? What are some of the emotions you're feeling as you think about this first question? Are you unsettled in your current position? Number two, readiness quiz question number two is this: do you have an idea, a nagging idea that you have wanted to pursue where you see your passion intersecting with a need or a gap in the world? A connection between something you're good at, something you want to pursue and that you're excited about, that also meets a need in the world. Do you have a nagging idea? Has it been there a while that you'd like to try? See, pursuing your dream is going to require a lot of hard work, dedication, and persistence. If you are genuinely passionate about your dream, you're going to have the motivation, energy to overcome any obstacles that come your way, right? And then, does your heart ache to make a difference with that gap or that need in the world? If you answer yes to this, maybe here in this question, you also write down something like, what is the idea? Can you share it at a very high level? If I were to step in an elevator with you on floor 1 and I was going to get off on floor 4, and you had 4 floors to give me a snapshot of your idea, could you write it down at a high level? Even if you have that kind of clarity, you're probably more ready than you realize to start pursuing your dream and start getting it even more crystal clear in your idea and how it could play out. Okay, question number 3. Are you willing to invest yourself in coaching and community to help you take the journey? The dream pursuit should not be taken alone. You're going to need help with it. It can be a long and challenging journey. Having a strong support network of family or mentors or friends who are also on the journey with you to encourage you and motivate you can make all the difference in the world. Are you willing to invest in coaching and community? Or do you think you got to somehow get that more prepared too? If you're willing to invest, you're more ready than you realize to pursue your dream. Okay, question number 4. Are you eager to learn new things and to grow? Because pursuing your dream will require acquiring new skills and knowledge. If you're open to learning and growing, you'll be able to adapt along the journey to new challenges and opportunities that come your way. That's why it's also important to have a community that's strong around you and coaching that can help you adapt. Are you willing to learn? Are you willing and eager to learn new things and grow? If it's yes, then you can almost tackle anything that's going to come your way because you can learn it. Adults learn when they have to. All right, final question. With the companionship of a supportive community and coach, are you willing to take risks? With the companionship of a supportive community and coach, are you willing to take risks? Pursuing your dream often requires you to step out of your comfort zone and to take risks. And if you have that kind of growth mindset, you will see challenges and begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning rather than see them as setbacks. or failures. If you want to check out risk taking and smart risk taking, go back and listen to last week's episode. Evan Law will set you straight and to help you see risk taking as a benefit and a blessing, not something to be avoided. So, those are the 5 questions. Easy enough, right? Are you unsettled? Are you willing to invest in coaching and community? Are you eager to learn new things and grow? And finally, are you, with the support of companionship and community and coaching, are you willing to take risks? If you can answer yes to these 5 questions, you are more ready than you realize to pursue your dream. This readiness quiz can help launch you into a better future because here's why. Because it sets the bar lower than perfection. It reveals the truth about perfectionism. Here's the truth. You ready? It's a lie. A big, fat lie. And when we believe it, it's just an excuse not to act. So take this quiz because it'll give you permission to try before you've got it perfect. Think about this for a minute. How popular over the last 5 years even has crowdfunding become? This is a great example of taking action before perfection, right? I mean, 5 years ago, maybe there was Kickstarter and GoFundMe. But since then, here's a list: Start Engine, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, Fundable, Seed Invest, Circle Up, Patreon, WeFunder, I Fund Women, GoFundMe, Crowdcube, Micro Ventures, Seeders, Mighty Cause, and so many more. People pouring investment dollars into products and inventions and new things that they have no idea whether they're going to work or not, just based on the idea of them. And they haven't created the perfect model. They're creating an MVP, a minimally viable product to put out in the market to test it, to improve it, right? And so that's the way of a dream pursuit that I want you to realize. You're more ready right now than you're giving yourself credit for. Why is it so important to see these 5 signs, to ask these five questions? Because, first of all, they help you in pursuing your dream in realizing that the dream is going to be challenging and uncertain so that you're not surprised by it. When I launched the Dream Accelerator program, we did so in person, 2-day workshops. We were rolling, things were happening. We were excited, getting ready to plan the next workshop, and then COVID hit. And I had perfected the in-person workshop. Well, not completely. It had its flaws. And then scrap it. So is my dream still valuable? Was it still important? I had to adapt. So taking this quiz can help you understand that you're ready now if you can answer yes to those 5 questions, and then you're going to need to adapt as you go. And that can help you make better informed decisions and set realistic expectations for yourself as you pursue your dream. Moreover, understanding these signs can help you prepare yourself for the challenges you're going to encounter along the way. There's going to be hard work. There's going to be a need for perseverance. The obstacles are going to be huge. But if you can answer yes to these 5 questions, you are ready to face them with motivation, resilience, and focus. Finally, recognizing these signs, answering yes to these 5 questions, even after you pursue your journey can give you the confidence and the clarity you need to pursue your dream with a sense of purpose and conviction, and bust through those walls when they present themselves and overcome the challenges and obstacles that come with it. And some of you I can hear as you're listening might be, already coming up with some obstacles of your own to this whole idea. What if it doesn't work out? What if I start pursuing it doesn't work out? What if I actually prove that I don't have what it takes? All those what if questions. I'd like you to flip it for a second and ask, well, what if it does actually work? What if through the obstacles and the challenges, I discover an even better way than I'm thinking about right now? What if it leads to other pursuits? What if it empowers others to pursue their dreams? Why do we always use the what if question in the negative? Why don't we flip it and use it from a positive perspective? When we do that, what if it doesn't work? What if I actually prove that I don't have what it takes? It keeps us in the untested ground of overthinking, which only leads to more self-doubt. When has overthinking led you to anything but more self-doubt? It's action that produces hope. And these 5 signs are key to priming the pump for taking action. It's actually my contention with this podcast that these 5 questions, these 5 signs, actually physically help you move from overthinking to action taking. And that's why these questions work. When we remain immobile, we are sitting ducks for fear and self-doubt. Action creates momentum, progress, growth, discovery, freedom. Yes, obstacles will come. Barriers will present themselves 100% guaranteed. Limitations, your own limitations will be discovered. But with the momentum, the support, and the counsel that come as a result of you moving, as a result of these 5 questions, you can manage the obstructions, right? Right. Do you think that Amy and I haven't had obstacles to overcome over the past 33 years? They come along the way. Because of our commitment to act and move 33 years ago, we've been able to see through those obstacles together. Thanks so much for joining me today for another episode of Stop Doubting Your Dream. If you'd like to take the next step in bringing your dream to life and prove to yourself that you are more ready than you realize, then I want to encourage you to take a look in the show notes for today's episode for my Readiness quiz. Download it, take it, and man, I would love to hear Jeff at jeffmeyercoaching.com. I'd love to hear what you discover through this simple little Readiness quiz. And even better than that, what action step you're going to take next as a result. All right. If you love the show, if you're growing to really appreciate the content and the insights that are coming to you and stop doubting your dream, if you're listening on Apple, could you please just scroll down in your app and leave a review if you haven't already? Your reviews help others find the show and get the help they need to move forward pursuing their dream as well. I'd appreciate those reviews. Even a sentence long review counts for Apple's algorithms and is massive in moving this show forward in popularity. Thank you so much for listening. Next week on the show, I'm going to challenge another assumption that you probably make, that your perspective of self-doubt is wrong. You assume your perspective on self-doubt is right, but I'm going to show you that it's wrong and it's keeping you stuck. I'm going to share how our perspective on self-doubt is widening the confidence gap as you contemplate taking action on your dream, and I want to show you next week how you can actually change your perspective on self-doubt and use it. Yes, use self-doubt as a powerful resource in your dream pursuit. Join me back here next week. And until then, remember, The journey towards your dream begins today. Take action with a single step.